did go in there. You see, he's holding him. I don't think this is intentional. He actually caught him with the left when he turned. It wasn't. But that's not making Michael feel any better right now.
Nash, nice feed to LaFrance. And the help defense coming over a little late. 8-0 run for Dallas. They're within one.
Well, it was unusual. It started out like a dribble handoff and then tried to be a pick and roll. And Minnesota was confused, didn't know how to defend it.
Phillips. And Nash tracks down a rebound and quickly races up the floor. Non-stop for Nash. And he gets the roll. Mavericks with their first lead of the game.
Stevie Nash made his mind up when he crossed half court. He was taking that shot.
And this building exploding. Phillips draws the foul. And Nash picks up his second.
Well, we're seeing the entire package from Steve Nash early. Right there, they slipped the screen. Nesterovic got caught. Better remember, Nesterovic makes the contact, doesn't really lay him out. Dirk took the ball to the basket. When you go for the man's head or when you knock him off balance, it's going to be a flagrant. There's really been a lot of flagrants called in the regular season, and in the playoffs, the point system is a lot quicker. So players have got to be careful. Everybody talks about Kenyon Martin for New Jersey. There's a lot of players that need to be wary.
In the playoffs, 4 flagrant foul points begin suspension. You can get that by getting 4 flagrant 1s or obviously 2 flagrant 2s.
You throw a flagrant 2 in there and you're halfway there.
Approaching the midway point of the second quarter. Mavericks by 2. Garnett. Zerbiak kept that alive.
Well, Zerbiak doing a good job getting after it on the offensive boards.
Garnett stripped by Nowitzki. Here comes Nash. That's a 3.
They love that look. That's why you don't turn the ball over. They had the ball for about 2.5 seconds on offense.
The crowd has been getting up on its feet almost every other time down the floor. We got to save something. Mitchell back in the game. Shot clock winding down, and Phillips again. Chauncey Phillips now with 17 points, and that's Minnesota's first field goal in nearly 5 minutes.
Chauncey Phillips is a great late clock player because he can create his own shot.
LaFrance wide open.
I think the players are a little tired, to be honest, Michael. Some of these looks are good looks, but we're going up and down the floor.
Phillips has it knocked away. He felt he was fouled. And Michael Finley ahead of the pack. And Finley with his first field goal.
You say it all the time. Anytime a guard goes to the basket and doesn't finish the shot, it usually leads to a transition layup on the other end.
Garnett foul on the way to the basket. LaFrance has now picked up his third. A nasty gash on his neck. It's being attended to right now as they're patching him up. As he went over to the Mavericks bench, just part of a very physical first half, PJ.
Well, you saw this one here. This one was unintentional, but Michael Finley was in Wally's face. This is just a loose ball. We're going after it. That's a layup. That doesn't happen. I don't call this physical play. I call this NBA playoffs. That's what we're going to see a lot of in the next couple months.
And as we've said, Minnesota really feels this can be the year that they get past that first round. 5 straight seasons out in the opening round. But it's a team they've played well during the regular season. And it's a team they've had success against as more substitutions come in. Wang Zhizhu in for the first time. And he has helped them at times, starting to get more and more experience. We know he certainly can shoot.
He's improved dramatically. Don Nelson, people got on him when they drafted Nowitzki, and he said what a great player he was going to be. Nobody's laughing now.
Garnett hits the first. Coming up next on NBC, the NBA playoffs continue as the Lakers and the Blazers meet up at the Staples Center. Blazers and Lakers next up. A lot of people think Blazers, with no pressure, have a chance to really extend the Lakers and maybe even knock them out as Garnett hits both.
Well, they'll be hard-pressed to improve on that double OT game last weekend, and I dare say there may be an occasional hard foul in that series.
Look at Minnesota shooting in the second quarter. 2 for 14. Finley gets, Finley right at Nesterovic. I thought he was going to pass it out.
Michael Finley didn't think about passing it out. That was the zone by Minnesota out of the timeout. Michael Finley just put it on the floor and took it right to the rack.
We've seen the zone sporadically from both teams in the opening half. Zerbiak tied up. Billups for three. And Nash will get a running start. Nowitzki. Nesterovic goes for the fake. Oh, that's just fun to watch.
That is beautiful basketball, Mike. Transition, push the ball, and play unselfishly.
16 for Nowitzki.
He accepts the contact. Once he hears the whistle, it's just a little bit of a jump shot.
And the Mavericks have been playing some pretty decent defense.
He thought he had a block. Michael Finley flushes it, but it's the transition basket. Steve Nash pushes it. Minnesota can't even get matched up. They move the ball so well. Dirk Nowitzki, surprisingly, can't convert from the free throw line.
18 points, though, for Nowitzki. Mavericks by 4, just under 3 to play in the second. Garnett calling for it. Mitchell fires away. Not the shot that Flip Saunders wants there.
Well, Tom Tolbert talked about the fact that the penetration for Dallas is causing problems. Minnesota's standing around a little bit against some Dallas zone. And when you stand around, sometimes you don't shoot it nearly as well.
Tell you what, Dallas has done a good job keeping the ball out of Garnett's hands. Zerbiak has it knocked away by Finley, but Garnett gets it back. And a 24-second violation.
Excellent defense by the Dallas Mavericks. Minnesota very out of sorts right now on the offensive end, but he absorbs that and still has the presence to shoot it with his left hand, give himself an opportunity for the three-point play.
Nowitzki now with 24 as Garnett has picked up his second. And just remember, he did that against one of the best front court defenders in the league.
Nowitzki has his A game this afternoon.
Able to knock down the free throw. Dallas by 4. 7 straight points for the Mavericks. Quite an ebb and flow to this one.
It really is, but I think the key for Minnesota is going to be for Garnett and Zerbiak to give them more offense.
Nesterovic made a nice move. And a foul. Nowitzki's helped defense that time saved Wong on the play as Van Exel commits his first. Dallas with their second team foul.
Well, since the first quarter that we trashed them, I'm really impressed with Dallas's effort on the defensive end.
Finley really fighting up on Zerbiak. Nice move from Wally. Zerbiak couldn't finish and then gets called for the foul.
A little bit of frustration there because Wally was made to work, and he actually did really work to get a good look inside. When he couldn't finish, he reacted a little bit impulsive. When he came in here, he really didn't know what to expect. You can watch it on television a couple times a week from Europe, but until you line up against these players.
Van Exel, perfect timing on that. He was hoping for the pick and roll, and there's that kind of in-between shot that's so difficult to defend. He releases it before the defensive player has a chance to block. The Raptors and the Pistons from the Palace in Auburn Hills, Toronto, that great comeback story. Also the scene for one of the more emotional moments you'll see in the NBA. Last Wednesday night, as assistant coach Stan Albeck received a standing ovation prior to their game against the Cavaliers. Albeck suffered a stroke in the locker room prior to the December 23rd game, and it was his first appearance at the Air Canada Center, and the tears were flowing for Albeck. What a wonderful moment for a long time coach.
Great coach, great man. He's gone through a very difficult rehab. He's still working on it, and the people in Toronto, particularly the players and coaches, so delighted to have Stan back on the sideline.
And a salute to the fans for that warm welcome they gave Albeck. Gary Trent has come in from Minnesota. Adrian Griffin for Dallas. Trent gets it, shoots it, gets it again. Blocked by LaFrentz for the goaltend. And that one was on the way down.
Gary Trent is in there to get some points on the board for Flip Saunders, and he right away delivers. Off the ball, Rafe LaFrentz always looking to block. You like that. You'll take goaltendings. You want people to be aware when there's a shot blocker on the floor.
Nash getting a rest now. Van Exel and Nash play together quite a bit. And a foul down low. Gary Trent pushing on Rafe LaFrentz.
Many shots. I still don't think Rafe is comfortable. Nick Van Exel much more comfortable in Dallas right now than Rafe LaFrentz. Just hasn't found his niche yet.
5-point Dallas lead. 2.5 to play in this third quarter. Garnett, relatively quiet game. Well, the Mavericks have really looked to stop him. Shot clock winding down. Peeler using the left hand. Fight for the rebound. Trent. Trent goes up, blocked by LaFrentz. Trent again. Foul. And one. Gary Trent, second time with the second effort.
Gary Trent is going to keep going up. You have to knock him down because he's going to keep coming at you. He's really a bull inside. I love his tenacity, and he's so good close to the basket. He actually has a very good touch for a big, strong player. AP went in, and there's LaFrentz again affecting the shot. LaFrentz makes a difference on the defensive end for Dallas. He gets Gary Trent one time. Gary keeps coming.
Trent, this is his first year with Minnesota. His 7th year in the league as Nowitzki grabs another rebound. Minnesota, his 4th NBA team. He started with Portland, Toronto, a brief stint with the Mavericks, so there are a couple of ex-Mavericks on the Timberwolves. Robert Pack, another one. Lead is 3. Van Exel. And Zerbiak the rebound. Phillips calling for the ball. On the trailer play, Garnett can't get it. Goes back, blocked by Finley for a foul. Finley's saying all ball, but he's not going to get any sympathy from Hugh Hollins. And 2 free throws coming up for Kevin Garnett.
Well, I tell you, in the last minute, you see Rafe LaFrentz on every play, Michael. He's contested every shot. When you shoot the ball and he's on the floor, you need to be aware of his presence. Otherwise, KG was going to finger roll that right in on the fast break layup.
Garnett, only 11 points, and if you're Flip Saunders, you've got to feel pretty good that he has not really had one of his offensive games, and you're right there, only down by 2.
Yeah, that feeling good, though, is going to be replaced by, but Kev, I know you're going to start. You better start soon. We need to win this one today. They would love to start a first-round series with a win. They've never done that in franchise history.
Part of the reason he's been quiet, every time he touches the ball, they send a second defender out. Every time. 2
and sometimes 3. There's no question. He and Wally Zerbiak are feeling the heat from the Dallas defense.
Trent is on Van Exel. Griffin goes hard. Garnett with the block. Not a smart shot that time from Griffin.
Too small.
Phillips, oh, nice hesitation pass. Chauncey Phillips having a terrific game. That's his 7th assist. And a 6-0 run from Minnesota. They're back in front by 1.
Gary Trent's got them started off the bench, and good defense has keyed some transition action for the T-Wolves.
Moore looks like a zone. There's a 3. Way short. 3-on-2 numbers for Minnesota. Zerbiak! And Don Nelson wants a 22nd timeout as the T-Wolves have gone on an 8-0 run.
It's all defense and then transition. Defense keys fast breaks. Adrian Griffin in among the big guys. Kevin Garnett gets a piece of it. He turns, and here come the Timberwolves. Chauncey Billups, easy decision. He finds Anthony Peeler underneath. 3 straight trips down the floor. Minnesota's got it going. Wally Zerbiak with a rare open attempt at the basket.
Watch out for Wally. LaFrentz trying to block it. Zerbiak now in double figures with 11. Final minute, third quarter. Dallas back up by 3. Or excuse me, Minnesota by 3 after Dallas came out strong here to start the third. Nash against Joe Smith. Shot clock winding down. Nash is going to have to put it up. And they didn't call a 24-second violation, I guess, because Minnesota had a chance for a break.
No, they got it up.
But it didn't hit the rim on that particular.
No, Minnesota did a great job, though. They switched the pick and roll, and then they rotated. They really frustrated Dallas on that offensive possession.
Van Exel.
It's got a quick, looks like Chauncey Billups. Hopefully it's just a cramp. He's grabbing the back right there. You hope that's not a pull, just a...
1 in assists with 8.
Obviously, you can't tell. We'll find out. Lewis Johnson will get the info for us. But...
And free throws coming up when we return. There's a turn of events for you.
You can almost read Flip Saunders' expression, Mike, if you watch this. As soon as the ball squirts into the backcourt and Stevie Nash lofts it up in the air, watch Flip. You know he knows this ball's going in. Never in doubt.
Nash now with 17 points. And Minnesota took the shot a little bit too early. They had a great look at it, but Nash converts it into a three down the other end. A seesaw battle here in game one. 3 quarters complete. Mavericks and Timberwolves all tied at 73. You're watching the NBA on NBC. Quarter.
Right here. There.
You can't fault Peeler for taking that three with time left on the clock because he was wide open. But that's what happens sometimes. You give a chance if it doesn't go in for the team to score down the other end.
Well, he had to set it up. We wanted the games to be close. Look at these 4 games during the year. This matchup, with the exception of that one on February 19th, just appears to be one of those matchups. Wally Szczerbiak fighting to get a look at the basket this afternoon.
Robert Pack gets it to Trent. Trent had a good look. Another second effort. Defended well. Rafe LaFrentz right there. Van Exel off the dribble. LaFrentz for 3.
You telling me he didn't call glass?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
You're correct.
The Mavericks had missed their last 8 3-point attempts prior to that one that Nash hit, and now LaFrentz, so they've hit 2 in a row after struggling from downtown.
We've got 2 of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league, and they're just not putting it in, unless you want to count this as putting it in. Bang.
Finley with his second foul, and Kevin Garnett's going to come back in. It's obvious what Dallas has said. They really want to try and shut down Garnett, and have done the same, or at least try to do the same with Szczerbiak. Chauncey Billups leads Minnesota in scoring with 21. Garnett only has 12. Szczerbiak just 11.
Look at these numbers. 2 of the top 4 in the league barely hitting the rim this afternoon.
Garnett short. LaFrentz played him well. That's one of the keys in LaFrentz's game. He's a good defender and an excellent shot blocker. Nash gets past Peeler and is tripped up. And Garnett, good sportsmanship, helping up the opponent. So Peeler picking up, or do they call it on Pack? Well, Robert Pack is first. Billups is going to come back in, so apparently he's okay.
He's okay, but cramps have a way of coming back. What actually happened on that play, Nick Van Exel got into him a little bit, and he had to kind of squat down. And again, sometimes you want to keep that muscle stretched out. So look for Chauncey Billups to maybe struggle with that cramp in the last 11 minutes.
Finley. Szczerbiak making him take a tough shot, and Finley knocks it down. Here's Szczerbiak. You can't play him much better than that. Make him taking a shot like that.
They're doing a really good job, and it just continues back and forth. One team gets hot and pulls away, the other one responds.
Offensive foul against Minnesota. Nash got leveled by Gary Trent on a screen.
That's a turnover, 11 for Minnesota. You can't afford empty trips in this game.
You see him sliding there a little bit. Nash kind of playing along.
The Flip was hoping for.
Van Exel steps back, puts in the 2. And the Mavericks come out of the gates in the 4th quarter with a 7-0 run.
Flip's going to take a timeout. He goes to zone. Nick's kind of standing there. Nobody underneath the basket.
The 12th Minnesota turnover. Finley, nice duck under. 9-0 run to start the quarter.
We talked about the problem in defending his team. Early on, Nowitzki and Nash carried the load. There's the 3rd member of the triumvirate. Now, Michael Finley stepping up.
Garnett foul on his way to the basket. LaFrentz will pick up his 4th. A nasty gash on LaFrentz's neck.
Real good offensive move here. He fakes. He gets Serbiak up in the air. The step through. Great poise by Michael Finley. Wait, let me get the defender out of the way. He squares up and finishes.
Mavericks 4 for 4 from the field in the fourth. Garnett called for travel. Took that extra step. And even though he said something to Teddy Bernhardt, he knows it.
Well, his steps are a little long. When Kevin Garnett takes a step, it's very, very long. Sometimes it looks like an extra step. That time he did.
Nash, he's bumped. Chauncey Billups says good call. Second team five. LaFrentz sits down. LaFrentz, by the way, has 5 block shots.
He's keyed the defense, and you're talking about defense. Boston played a little bit of defense against Philadelphia this afternoon in Allen Iverson's return.
Shot clock winding down. Philly. Nahara lost it out of bounds. Last touch by Minnesota.
There's the hustle plays that Nelly loves from Nahara and Buckner and Griffin and Johnny Newman.
Don Nelson calls them the dirty work guys. Nowitzki wide open. And Peeler gets the rebound. Both these teams have great ability to come back and do it in a hurry. So even though Dallas in control there to start the fourth, there's still plenty of time. Garnett wants the ball. Nesterovic way short. Garnett the rebound. And there's a high percentage shot.
Look out below.
Kevin Garnett just 14 points, but he has 15 rebounds and 5 assists. Nowitzki goes right at Nesterovic. Nahara trying to keep it alive. A lot of physical play again. Zerbiak, that's a 2-pointer. And just like that, Minnesota cuts it to 5.
Minnesota just looks so much better, Mike, when they're able to get out and run. And they got to attack Dallas's half-court sets. Defensively, they struggle.
Don't forget, they won here during the regular season without Kevin Garnett. And the two teams split the 4 games. Shot clock again winding down. Nash for 3. Zerbiak, tough rebound, and Minnesota looking to push.
Zerbiak again.
Zerbiak inside, Nesterovic on the tip-in. Zerbiak made a nice catch. Billups threw it behind him and still able to get it. A 6-0 run for Minnesota. Finley for 3. Zerbiak again ahead of the pack, but Peeler didn't see him. And an offensive foul. Great transition defense from Nash.
Well, that is an enormous play right there, Michael, because Minnesota had it going their way. Anthony Peeler made the decision. Steve Nash got his feet outside the semicircle and in front of Anthony Peeler.
Nash not known for his defense, but smart play that time.
Big play.
3-point game, still plenty of time remaining, over 7 minutes. Finley, one of 5 players for Dallas in double figures. LaFrentz, point blank range. It was a great look.
Minnesota was zoned up. Ray found the seam. He just couldn't finish.
Garnett. And Nash trying to cheat over on him. Garnett blows past LaFrentz. Zerbiak not expecting the pass. Rushed that shot. And Nowitzki comes down with his 13th rebound and a foul. Kevin Garnett, his 3rd. Minnesota, with their 3rd team, is about his season average. He averaged a career high in boards and assists this season.
Well, he's got 6.5 minutes to still pick it up offensively.
Van Exel for 3. He's a big shot maker, has done so throughout his career.
He's a big shot taker also. A lot of players don't want the big shots. Nick Van Exel has always welcomed them.
Garnett comes up short. He's been short on a lot of his shots today. The Maverick defense, and some people will be surprised to hear this, but the Maverick defense had a lot to do with it.
I think that's the big story. The last 3 quarters, Dallas has really stepped up defensively.
Nesterovic, good hands, but still Dallas ball. 3 left on the shot clock.
Kevin Garnett guarded Nick Van Exel for about 10 seconds on the...
Or to get the shot off. Finley, the catch, fires. And a 24-second violation.
Well defended. You know, Tom Hammond talked about Shaquille having his game face on, Mike. I think I'd rather look at Angie Harmon's game face than Shaquille's. I mean, I love the big guy, but
she's a big Mavericks fan. By the way, you count that as a turnover. That's only the second turnover in the second half for Dallas, and the first one here in the fourth quarter. And a foul on LaFrance. So that's the 14th foul and 5th on LaFrance. Free throw shooting could be very important down the stretch. Both these teams good from the line.
Both these teams excellent for the line, but against the regular season form, Minnesota has already attempted 20 free throws to only 13 for Dallas. You asked Flip Saunders before the game, does he want Kevin to be more selfish at the end? 2 possessions. He threw it to Wally Szczerbiak. He didn't finish. He threw it to Rasho. He didn't finish. I think it's time for Kevin to get more selfish.
Garnett was brought up. If his teammates open, throw him the ball. But he's the main guy. Van Exel for 3. Not a good shot in that instance.
Here come the numbers. 4 on 3.
Peeler inside. Nesterovic blocked, but a follow and 1. So Nesterovic, best thing that could happen to Minnesota was that block on the first. He felt he was fouled and then went up and has a chance for a 3-point play. It's a 2-point game.
Repeatedly today, Minnesota has done a great job on offensive rebounds. Here's another one. It was blocked. He comes back with it. Szczerbiak did it early. Gary Trent did it. Kevin Garnett did it. Now Rasho Nesterovic. 18 offensive rebounds.
They're a good free throw shooting team, but there are exceptions. Nesterovic a bad one, but Peeler keeps it alive with a big offensive rebound. Another one. That's 19 offensive rebounds for Minnesota. Garnett comes up short again.
Wow, Minnesota has had opportunities to tie this game up.
Nowitzki for 3.
You wonder how many chances you're going to get, Mike, inside. Minnesota's got to finish.
28 points for Dirk Nowitzki. Mavericks back up by 5. Still plenty of time. Peeler, offensive foul, lowered the shoulder, and that's the second charge Nash has picked up on Peeler.
Anthony Peeler's upset, but again, opportunity. How many times is it going to come? Kevin Garnett with the look right in front of the basket. Yeah, a little bit of pressure. And then Dirk Nowitzki with the 3-pointer on the other end. That's not a 4-point play. That's a 5-point play.
It's a 5-point game. 4:04 remaining. Nash with Garnett on him. Blocked by Garnett.
Good point, Mike. You knew he had Garnett on him. Steve Nash didn't.
Nahara with the steal. Peeler with his second straight turnover. Nowitzki has Nesterovic on him. A matchup Dallas loves. That's a 2-pointer. Nahara nearly kept that alive. Garnett instead with his 19th rebound.
Has good 6 Minnesota turnovers, really hurting them right here in this corner. Dirk's got to get a better shot than that, Mike.
Nesterovic over Nowitzki. Rasho Nesterovic with a big bucket. He's got 16 points.
Dallas walking it up. We may see that fatigue we talked about early. And you have some tired players on the floor right now.
They'll have plenty of time to rest. Game 2 not until Wednesday here in Dallas. Nahara, an open look.
They've hurt them with that matchup all day. Rasho Nesterovic zones up to help, and the big man for Dallas just flashes in the middle. He's wide open.
5-point Dallas lead. Peeler drives again. Pass inside, knocked away. Peeler with another costly turnover. Nahara wisely brings it back out. Nowitzki has Billups on him, and Nash recognized that and got on the ball and drew the foul. It's only the 4th team foul. LaFrance the only one close to fouling out. Nahara again. And Garnett snatches his 20th rebound. Billups had the big first half, a little quiet in the second half, and that one in and out.
Long time between shots. Minnesota needs a couple of stops in these final 2 minutes.
Finley with Zerbiak on him. Tough shot, puts it in. .16 for Finley. Mavericks have equaled, or now lead by 7, I should say, with 1:35 remaining. Nesterovic knocked away by Finley.
Can't put the ball on the floor against a good aggressive help defense, and Dallas is doing that this afternoon.
And the crowd sensing a win. The turnover's crucial in this fourth period. Van Exel. Just over a minute remaining. Minnesota's going to have to start thinking about threes. And there's a bad foul from Nick Van Exel. The last thing the Mavericks wanted, because they were trying to put the pressure. And there's a bad foul on Anthony Taylor.
He was trying to foul full court. Flip is looking at him. I don't know what he's thinking.
He's shooting 84%. 5-point game, 57 seconds remaining. Flip Saunders knows his team has had their opportunities here in game 1. Mavericks continue to play some very good defense. Phillips.
Dallas impressive on the defensive end, Michael, and their big three stepped up. Zerbiak and Garnett have played well, but not well enough.
And Flip Saunders will use his final.
And today, Dirk Nowitzki, 30 and 15. Kevin Garnett, real impressive, 21 rebounds, but 5 for 17 shooting. Is not going to get it done.
And the big surprise in the Big D today has been the defense of the Dallas Mavericks.
We talked about the big three. We didn't talk about the big D. Dallas has stepped up on the defensive end.
This game was tied after 3 quarters. Dallas came out strong. Zerbiak, strong move to the goal. That's too easy if you're Dallas.
Too quick, exactly right. But here's the problem in trying to come back against Dallas. You put them on the free throw line, you just reasonably can't hope for misses.
As a team, they shot 81% from the line.
They were second in the league in the NBA the last 2 years. They're first this season.
Nash hits a pair.
Doesn't even hit the rim.
19 points, 6 assists for Steve Nash. Garnett puts up the 3 and puts it in. Kevin Garnett from downtown. To go, 7-point game. Phillips again. Quick basket. Phillips almost fouls Finley before he inbounds. Now Van Exel. Van Exel nearly committed a foul there. Grip of the rebound. And let's see if the Timberwolves are going to put up the white flag. Flip Saunders will let them play it out. And another standing ovation for the Dallas Mavericks. An impressive Game 1 victory in this best-of-5 series.
Very solid effort by the Mavericks.
Game 2 not until Wednesday. Well, the Mavericks lead the series 1-0. Final score 101-94 coming up next.